This is my favorite subgenre of right-wing memes, this whole traditionalist Wojak sort of meme. And you have one girl says, I'm dedicating my life to science. And you have another girl that's like, well, I got you beat. I'm raising 5 scientists, right? And I noticed that 2 of those scientists are girls, like according to this meme. So this meme has kind of some mixed messages in it. I don't know if these kids are actually going to be scientists. I don't think they are. I think what she means is they're going to be like flat earth researchers or something. I don't really understand what the objection is here because, like I said, you have one woman saying she's dedicating her life to science. You got another woman saying she's raising 5 scientists, but 2 of them are girls, which makes me think, like, so is this meme against women in STEM, or is it pro women in STEM, but only if they're also tradcon mommies raising their own scientists up? Also, it's kind of weird that you've decided that all of your kids are going to be scientists before they've grown up and determined what they want to do themselves. So that's extraordinarily odd. No idea how to interpret this. No idea what they're even trying to say with this. You know, the one message I could glean from it, which is like women and science don't mix, seems to be contradicted within the meme itself. So I don't really know what they're trying to say. Whatever it is, I think they're probably saying it poorly. A lot of people have asked me, hey, where do you do your live streams? And the answer to that is that I do live streams called Abandon Hope every Sunday on the Pessimist Productions Patreon. That is linked down below. There is all sorts of other stuff on that Patreon as well. It is about $7 a month, and I think that we offer a pretty generous amount of content in exchange for that membership. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to check out the Patreon link in the description section of this video. Here's you're racist. So what? Fuck off. Man, this poor like Trad Wojak thing, man. This fucking stern-faced, intense, bearded man that's just like doesn't give a fuck. He's steely-eyed with conviction. That guy is so abused by people with shitty opinions who want to think better of themselves, right? It's like, oh man, how can I make my shitty, horrible nightmare of an opinion appealing to people? I know. I'll append it to this fucking stud. And I'll ascribe the opposite opinion to some fucking soy boy looking piece of shit. So, I also like now that the right seems like less and less are they pretending they're not racist. Now they're more into, yeah, I'm racist. What of it? Which, you know, I don't know if that's progress or regress, but I guess it's at least more honest. We can say that about it, right? And by the way, the answer to, you know, if you call someone racist and their answer is so what? The answer is, so you're a horrible person that is, you know, not only doing harm to yourself and to others, but doing society harm. You don't judge people by the content of their character. You judge them by the color of their skin. You judge them by the happenstance of their origins. And, you know, that's always going to lead to terrible results because you're no longer looking at people based on merit or based on personal character. You are now looking at people based on nothing more than, do we share ancestry? Do your ancestral homelands and mine coincide? And if they do, then we're on good terms. And if they don't, we're on bad terms, right? And that is like a pretty, on top of everything else, imbecilic way to see the world. Happy Day of Trans Remembrance, my guy. Happy Asexual Awareness Week. Happy International Pronouns Day. They, them is out there saying all this shit, but then some normie walks by and says, hey, Merry Christmas, and look at how triggered the pink-haired they, them gets. Furiously fucking angry. I love that every single year, and I've reacted to this exact meme before. This is not a new one. This one's been around, but I love how every single solitary year the right wing of this country decides that they are once again going to pretend that other people on the left specifically, are horribly, horribly triggered every time we hear the phrase Merry Christmas. There's just nothing that drives us crazier. There's nothing we hate more. We seethe the moment that it leaves their lips. We are so unbelievably triggered by that phrase. And it's just like, guys, year after year, we've told you, we don't care. Go ahead, say Merry Christmas to your heart's content. Literally, no one gives a rat's ass. And if someone does, I promise you that they are the fringiest of the fringe. No one cares, man. I don't know why you guys have convinced yourself of this. I think it's because you have to feel like Christmas somehow belongs to you. And so you feel the need to stake your claim in it by acting like other people just hate it. But pretty much everyone celebrates Christmas in some way, shape, or form in this country. And it is not really, at this point, a religious holiday or a Christian holiday or even a traditionalist holiday. It's pretty much just a consumerist holiday. And there are certain TV specials that we associate with it, and there are certain activities that we associate with it, such as the tree and the lights and the presents and all that stuff. But it's a pretty secular day at this point. If you want your Christmas to be more religious, you're certainly also still free to do that. But that's about all you can really say. What's the difference between a dead baby and a Tesla? I don't have a Tesla in my garage. That's this misshapen rainbow flag sporting, I don't even know, like hydrocephaly kids take. Little edgy joke. And then you got some soy jack Redditor. Haha, epic edgy meme, friendo. Please accept lay Reddit gold. And then it shows the two of them later, the LGBT and the Redditor, watching this Israeli sending off missiles to go, kill a bunch of, Palestinian kids. And they're like, no, you're killing babies. That's a heckin' war criminal. They like adding O to things. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if you joke about, if you make a dead baby joke, you're not allowed to complain when people actually murder babies. That's the standard, I guess, we're being presented with here. If you joke about something, you have to be okay with it. That's the rule. I didn't make it. Right-wing America apparently did. Here's one of these weird Pixar memes. I don't even understand what the fuck is trying to go on here. There's like a Jewish stereotype lady with huge tits running away, laughing from, I don't even know, like some kind of like Indian people maybe, or Middle East. I don't even know what ethnicity I'm supposed to be looking at here. Please marry me, dear, bold and beautiful Israel woman. What am I supposed to get from this? Like, what is being said? I think this person was just kind of like low key horny and just wanted to there to be some big tits. And this is like the weird racist thing they came up with. So here you go. This is a mom taking her kid into the gender affirming clinic. Your life-changing care. But as the kid's looking at the tattoos, the mom's like, that's too permanent. You will regret it. Really makes you think. Except, at that age, gender affirming care is not going to include fucking really anything other than just like affirming the child's identity, right? They're not going to, they don't perform surgeries at that age. They don't even put you on fucking hormone blockers at that age. So, or puberty blockers, because they're, you're looking at a kid that's so young in that instance. So like, they're actually not doing anything that's like, oh, they're really like going to change the kid at this point. Like nothing irreversible is going to be done at this early stage of like, gender transition stuff. I'll fight the patriarchy by using my mother's last name. So your grandfather's last name? Triggered. And then he walks away because he's, with his alpha energy and shit. And And then she's drinking, I guess this is a drink that we're supposed to hate, yerba mate, whatever the fuck. You know, I guess this makes a good point. You know, you women, if you really want to fight the patriarchy, you just got to make up your own last names. You know, just got to reject your family name entirely, make something up that's just uniquely yours. So this guy brings up a good point. Nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. And then Trump is looking at you like, I don't know. He's looking at me like he wants to either bed me or he wants to tell me that he needs to take a shit. You know? So I don't know. Toxic masculinity is a problem. And I think that's Jordan Peterson there. I think that's supposed to be Jordan Peterson. The Jordan Peterson version of the Chad. 43% of boys are raised by single mothers and 78% of teachers are female. So toxic masculinity isn't the problem. Lack of masculinity is. If 43% of boys are being raised by single mothers, doesn't that mean that that 43% of fathers is at fault for leaving the household? Or I guess that's all the woman's fault in every instance, right? If you looked into the reasons why 43% of boys are raised by single moms, I'm pretty sure you'd see like that there's like a multitude of factors behind that. Everyone's story would be different. You'd have to quantify that down to like an insane degree because there's so many variables that could account for why that happened. So, you know, we'd have to look into that data and try to understand that. And then he says 78% of teachers are female. Well, that's true, but you could easily point to like the huge disparity of male politicians, you know, which are the leaders of our entire country, right? The huge disparity of like popular media figures who are male, although I think that's kind of changing. I mean, that's changed a lot, but you know, you still see a lot of very influential news people are dudes and all that stuff. So I mean, like this idea that like we live in this very female-led society and that's why everything is gone wonky. I don't think that really tracks because there's still so much power concentrated in men's hands. Now, if there was this huge power imbalance, I mean, with 50-50 populations, you know, and roughly men and women are 50-50, you would expect to see roughly 50-50 distribution of power if you lived in a truly equal society. Now, you could say that maybe there's some tendencies in this gender or that gender that might prevent it from being exactly 50-50, and we could definitely study those and account for those and all that. But, you know, whatever differences there are, we should be able to account for them. And I don't feel like we are yet to the point where we can just say that all of the differences in outcomes between men and women, males and females, however you want to fucking split the difference. I think a lot of those are not really super well understood. And a lot of things get lumped together because we don't have data that's really penetrating into every single sort of, I mean, or at least we might have the data, but it's not being presented in stuff like this. This is just like hand wave away all that shit. We all know the real reason because we got a gut feeling. Like there's just way too much gastrointestinal cognition going on the right, I think. You know, they talk about the left being too controlled by feelings, but they're too controlled by something even more primitive than feelings, which is like these gut feelings. It's like, I know what's really going on here. And then they just search for little out of context facts with no real nuance, no real exploration of variables, and say, oh, yes, this confirms what I think. So I'm latching onto it like a leech.